Hi, I'm Krista Stefnetti, and today I'm going to be running you through my digital mobile learning guide, which will be great for anyone studying the Bachelor of Science like myself. So let's have a look at what we will be learning about today. First, I'm going to discuss global trends and the increase in the usage of mobile technologies and why this is occurring. Then I'll emphasize 3 very effective educational approaches to learning. I will then give you some background knowledge about my own cultural setting and the global trends that relate. Finally, I will discuss 5 uses of mobile technologies that I find useful while studying within my degree. So let's start with some global trends. This graph displays the mobile revolution, which occurred in 2014. In this year, the use of mobile technology, such as mobile phones and laptops, overtook the use of desktop computers or non-mobile technology. We can now see a trend in app usage. Within 2 years, there has been an increase in the use of applications on mobile devices, such as banking apps, check bank accounts, and pay bills. We are now left wondering why we are seeing these trends. The answer is due to the affordances and affordability of mobile devices compared to desktop devices. The term affordance describes the multiple uses of the technology and its capability to be utilised for what the user requires. Affordability refers to the cost of the technology in relation to a user's means of obtaining it. A balance then exists as the user weighs up the cost of the technology with how much they can use it. In terms of current mobile technology, they tend to be more expensive than older devices, but have better software and a greater affordance for the user. This then explains the trend in smartphone usage between developed and developing nations. Evidently, more smart devices are being used in developed nations such as the USA rather than developing nations such as India. A large influence of this is due to affordability and affordances. As individuals within developed nations on average earn a much larger yearly income than people in developing nations, they are able to place more emphasis on the possible uses for the technology and less emphasis on how much it actually costs to obtain, and are therefore more capable and more likely to purchase smart devices. We are now going to look at 3 educational approaches that are beneficial for learning. The first is social constructivism. This method encourages cooperative learning between the teacher and student in which prior knowledge is accepted and built upon. This learning technique engages the learner through active inquiry whilst having support from others. Learners are guided through the zone of proximal development, which is the amount of new content they are able to learn with support. The next is behaviorism. Behaviorism promotes learning based on a reward system. If the learner displays positive behavior or improvement of skills, they are rewarded. The learner will then associate this correct behavior with rewards. This educational approach is very commonly used with young children and through applications. The final approach is situated learning. This surrounds learners in the environment that they are currently learning about. It promotes collaborative and social learning and takes into account the learner's context and cultural background. For example, through my university degree, I am studying pathology. Studying within this unit takes place within the Pathology Museum. In this case, the environment we are situated in is relevant to the topic we are learning about. Next, I will talk about my cultural setting. I was born in Australia, which is a Western and developed country. Here, the average income of full-time workers is over 6 times higher than in developing nations such as Indonesia. Due to this higher income, Australians tend to place more emphasis on the affordances of a mobile device and less emphasis on how much it actually costs. In terms of schooling, there was a far greater usage of mobile devices within secondary school than there was in primary school. Next, I will take you through 5 mobile technologies that I use within my study area. The first, which I find the most useful, is the use of apps. Apps are fantastic because you can customize your own learning and can keep track of progress. As of 2017, there are thousands of apps, but the ones I find most useful are apps that use social constructivism and information transmission to learners. This is my favourite app I use when learning body systems and anatomy. 3D Medical is very interactive in the way you can move through the human body and get a very close look at organs and body systems that are actually functioning. The app allows you to take quizzes and records your progress using both a social constructivist and information transmission way of teaching. The second, which has only recently become common, is the use of ebooks. They turn studying into a much more social experience. They enable you to keep track of your learning, and personally I find I am more engaged when studying or reading from an ebook. This is one that I use within my biology unit called Biology and Australian Focus. This ebook is great because it allows me to take weekly quizzes. The ebook even highlights information within the chapters that I will need to know for the quiz and is much cheaper than the hard copy version. The third mobile technology which I have been seeing more and more of within hard copy textbooks is the use of QR codes. These codes turn a boring textbook into a world of mobile learning. They encourage students to be self-motivated when learning, which I find more interactive and engaging. Within my degree, I love scanning QR codes where I can watch videos of cellular process up close instead of having to look at still images in the textbook. Here I have created my own QR code. Feel free to pause the video here if you would like to scan it. The fourth technology is the use of online mind maps. Mind maps are great because they allow me to organise my study notes to make studying for exams less confronting. When creating my mind maps, I do it in a group setting, which again encourages social learning and social constructivism. Here is a mind map I have created to help me study for my physiology exam. I have organised what body systems I need to learn and what part of the system the exam will focus on. The final technology I will discuss is the use of multimedia recordings. I tend to use this way of learning in the last few days before exam period, as it is very enjoyable for me to record myself reading through notes and then simply listen to them over. This is a very compact way of carrying notes and is great for learners who, like myself, do not like reading. Thank you so much for watching, and please leave your feedback.